Alright, hi friends. I'm just getting home from the gunsmith. So YouTube Safety Police. Cleared. Orange flag. It is clear. Wanted to talk about the importance of maintaining a weapon for armed security. This specifically is a 365 chambered in 380. This is obviously not an open carry. This is not what I use for work. But I want to talk to armed professionals in regards to maintaining your weapon, functions checking your weapon, and otherwise making sure your weapon's up to snuff for duty. So I had a more or less a complicated situation with this 380, and now that you guys have seen it, I'm gonna put it down now. I had a case to where I didn't have tools. I don't have a punch or anything yet because all my firearms tools were in my apartment fire in March of 2022, my Las Vegas apartment fire before I moved up here to Utah. So I don't have tools. I couldn't take the back pin out. I couldn't take the back pin out of the 365 grip module for the FCU, so I could take the modular serialized fire control unit out. So I couldn't punch that pin out, so I could take the FCU out and further detail the weapon, as in investigate my issue further in depth by taking the FCU out of the grip module, as it's known within the 365 320 series of firearms. I digress. So I was having an issue to where my 380 was more or less disassembled for close to 4 or 5 months now, I think. And I cleaned it after my last range session with the 380, and I couldn't put it back together. And it's been stuck in between the slide and the frame for the last, that time frame that I mentioned. And I decided to Google the issue today, and I found two different issues. It was, well, you gotta mess with the slide lock, and then you gotta use the takedown lever, and it'll drop a certain frame, and it'll drop to a certain position, and you gotta hold the takedown assembly lever with your thumb, and then your slide should just be able to rock forward. Okay, that was solution one. That didn't work for me. Oh, if you pull the trigger, there's a small little lever in the back of the frame, in the back of the FCU, to where, if you just simply push that black lever down with your finger, your slider should be able to go. Again, zilch. No joy. So I decided to further Google it, and I found out that your slide will catch, and your slide will only go so far if this is a possibility of a defective and or broken and or otherwise screwed up takedown lever, to where you push down on this lever. That's how you disassemble the modular 365. So you take that, you push it down, and that's how you disassemble the weapon. So I Googled, and in my diagnosing of the weapon here at my apartment, I came to the conclusion that maybe the takedown lever is broken, because in my Googling, my Googling came to the conclusion of, if your takedown lever is broken, this will cause your slide to catch. Basically the issue I was having, to where your weapon will not fully assemble, your slide will not fully seat back, and the slide won't catch onto the frame, and therefore your weapon will still be into halves, the upper and the frame. So I went, shit. So I can't diagnose this at home. So turns out the Sportsman's Warehouse National Gunsmith is right here in Salt Lake City. If you go to a Sportsman's Warehouse and you otherwise turn in your weapon to Sportsman's for inspection, they will send it here to Salt Lake. So I was in good hands. I actually have the national gunsmith for all Sportsman's Warehouse. I have their national operation right here in Salt, as I shorthand things. So I took my 365 380 into Sportsman's today. I'm just getting home from Sportsman's. And I gave them my weapon, and 15 minutes later, they walked out with my weapon assembled. And I went, oh, yay. Hi, Starfire. My cat. So, they told me it was the springs. It was an issue with the springs within the FCU, the frame, within everything, to where there were certain springs that were just gummed up and otherwise stuck, that basically were causing everything to just not capture and lock onto each other. So it was a springs issue. So that leads to my point of, and I think I was muzzling myself, 4 fundamentals of firearm safety broken. I think I broke at least 2 there. Anyways, I digress. So yes, I wanted to just make this video about, hey, you know, look after yourselves, look after your weapon, and occasionally make sure you functions check and otherwise lube and otherwise, you know, do a physical and visual inspection of your firearm. This was not my fault, as in the way those springs were situated, I couldn't have known that was an issue. That had to have been looked at by a competent professional and otherwise licensed SIG armor, SIG gunsmith. So I took it into people that knew what they were doing, and they were able to diagnose it, and yep, it was the springs, this and that. But I wanted to make a clip here to say, hey, you know, if you're relying on, say, your Glock 34, your Glock 17, your Glock 19, whatever you have, if you're relying on a weapon for, you know, your life, if you're relying on a weapon for the defense of others or defense of yourself within armed security and or law enforcement, make sure you give your weapon a thorough once-over once in a while. Again, this particular instance that I'm describing in this video was not my fault. I could not have looked at those springs the way those springs were situated. I couldn't have inspected them. That required a physical, thorough, further in-depth gunsmith takedown, I call it, you know, a thorough, further disassembly of the weapon. But if you're relying on things for your life and or defense of others, if you're relying on things for your life and the lives of others, make sure you're taking care of your weapon. So anyways, guys, I think I'm going in a circle here within verbal, physical conversation with somebody. If you were in front of me, that's an issue I have, to where I repeat myself and I go in a circle. So I believe I'm circling with saying the same shit over and over. So I'm going to end the video here. But yeah, just maintain your weapon. Do a good, thorough once-over of your weapon every once in a while. Anyways, guys, first video of the new channel, Mike here at the Professional Security Journal. You guys stay safe, take it easy, stay vigilant, take pride in all you do. And most importantly, take it easy in your daily life. Take it easy, guys.